YouTube must really have a thing for emo boys because they're out here trying to screw Johnny Gilbert. Hey, how you doing? I'm Dan Frampton, and today we're going to talk about YouTube doing YouTube just stepping over their boundaries and trying to hold back the creators that prop up the platform, okay? Now, if you've been around on YouTube, in particular, maybe the emo, pop punk, Warped Tour scene side of YouTube for the last 10 years or so, you might know the name Johnny Gilbert. But if you don't, of course, I will provide context. So the best way that I could describe Johnny Gilbert is he's kind of a variety content creator, okay? Definitely one look at him, you're gonna know that this guy is an emo boy. But that kind of goes without saying. We'll definitely get into the kinds of content that he makes, but he got his start like 10 years ago or so with this Brian Stars fella, okay? Now this Brian Stars guy, very much a loser, very much a dweeb, very much a menace to society that nobody should respect or like, okay? But back in the day, having a guy that looked like this in the blue, going out to Warped Tour and interviewing like the scene bands or whatever, it kind of got a following, and people were like, oh man, I want to attach myself to Brian Stars and maybe from that I can like start a career or whatever. And Brian Stars kind of knew that he had that reputation and kind of exploited like the emos around him that wanted that superstar level, okay? He went out and found like 14 to 17-year-old emo kids and was like, I'll make you famous, kids. All you gotta do is move in with me. And they moved in with him, of course, and made this like content house kind of before content houses were a thing, okay? Very much ahead of the time, way before the Team 10s and hype houses of the world, and even those are archaic by today's standards or whatever. And they would do things like, hey, we're cutting each other's hair, we're dyeing each other's hair. And by this time, by the point they were all moved in together, Brian Stars went from looking like dweeby, nerdy kind of guy to dweeby, nerdy kind of poser, emo, wannabe kind of guy. He started straightening his hair, being like, oh my God, I could be in a band. I could be a singer or whatever. So Brian Stars started to go down those avenues, and that was just not a good call because he was best like interviewing bands, and even that was bad. I didn't enjoy him doing that either. He wouldn't ask about the music. He would ask like, what's your stupid ass star name? Tell me about the beef burrito that just came out your that kind of guy. That was the kind of shit that Brian Stars was bringing to the internet, and it was like the early 2010s and people were gobbling it up, okay? But by that point, by the early 2010s, I was already like a 26, 27-year-old person and was like way over it. I didn't vibe with this shit at all. And of course, you got a bunch of emos in a house that came there because of a creepy weird guy. You know there's gonna be drama. And of course, there's a lot of drama, and I'm not gonna get into all that drama. This is not that video, okay? But they had to do like this saying goodbye video, and here we have Johnny Gilbert, the topic of today's video, right in the middle, saying goodbye. Okay, so that was like 7 years ago, and everybody from that house left my peripherals from the internet. But then, Anthony Padilla of Smosh fame started this series after he left Smosh to like interview people. So he was like spending a day in the life of person X, person Y, person Z. And this episode was, he spent a day with emos. And of course I was watching this episode, and one of the guests that Anthony Padilla had on during this episode was Johnny Gilbert himself. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember Johnny Gilbert. Who was that? That was that guy that made the content with that idiot guy, right? Oh yeah, right, I remember that. And watching this video, I was like, oh man, this Johnny Gilbert guy, he's actually kind of a chill dude. This guy's actually pretty cool. I gotta give this guy another chance. And another chance I did give, of course. Johnny Gilbert isn't one of these guys that's just dressing up like this for the attention. This guy loves this stuff. This guy lives for this stuff. This is more than a phase for Johnny Gilbert. This is exactly who Johnny Gilbert is, okay? Because this was 7 years ago. This was 3 years ago, and then this is current day Johnny Gilbert, still doing the Johnny Gilbert thing. This guy is staying true and authentic to himself, even though the whole emo aesthetic comes and goes, you know what I mean? He's just riding that wave. This is exactly who this guy is. But what kind of content does he do? Why did I call him a variety content creator and not like a musician or a commentator. Because if you look at this, he looks like a musician. He looks like the guy from My Chemical Romance operating a commentary channel, right? So that's right down my alley right off the bat, okay? This was Johnny Gilbert's first music video, and he continues to write music, record music, get these music videos out in a very professional way. And yeah, sure, he has kind of that emo accent that might be a turnoff to some people, but he doesn't crank it up to like 15. It's a very tender and raw peeling back of the emotions, just the way that emo should be, okay? But a couple weeks ago, he dropped a video on Leafy, just a commentary video on a commentary YouTuber. He also has an ability to open up in a very empathetic way and just speak from the heart to the camera, which is a talent. Not a lot of people could do that. This video where he addresses Eugene Cooney and how he feels about the whole thing is a very great example of that. But he's also very, very funny, okay? Because you got Machine Gun Kelly out here doing an emo thing, but then Johnny Gilbert's like, no, guy, I gotta teach you how to do the eyeliner, okay? So let's just watch this short real quick.
Emo, 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 emo.
Yo, MGK, I can see you're struggling with the eyeliner. It's supposed to go on the eyelid, so you like put it right here. That's pretty much it. You just gotta get it on your eyelid. And if you want to be really fancy, you can get some eyeshadow too. That's pretty much it though. Just aim for the eye next time, alright? Take some like lipstick, you can draw like down your eye like this. I do that all the time, bro. It's pretty cool. And you could be like, I fell in love with an emo girl.
Okay, MGK, that was free emo advice from the emo legend himself, Johnny Gilbert. I say you take this advice. You don't just go emo, 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 emo on your face. He got pretty technical and detailed oriented out there for you, MGK. The least you could do is heed that advice. Okay, now the reason why we're here. This is why YouTube is out here screwing Johnny Gilbert, okay? He made this video about Johnny Elbows, another Johnny on the internet. Now you probably know this Johnny Elbows guy from this meme over here, okay? Gotta be quicker than that, buddy. Alright, so everybody on the internet kind of enjoyed watching these Johnny Elbows videos, but then it turned out that Johnny Elbows said a really creepy thing about a 12-year-old girl or something, and everybody disavowed. Now this clip here with Johnny Elbows wearing the hat, this is the clip where he says the disgusting thing about the person. And in Johnny Gilbert's video, I don't see anything here that's suspect or whatever, but YouTube certainly did. YouTube slapped an age restriction on this video that Johnny Gilbert made. Now you might not think an age restriction's that bad, but an age restriction's pretty bad when you're like a content creator for a living. You know what I mean? You want to be able to kind of count on some amount of income, and here's how an age restriction affects your channel. Anybody that's under 18 can't watch your video. If you're not signed in, can't watch your video. It holds back on recommended and up next, and it's really gonna like affect your views and your money. And you know, when you're building a life based on like income or whatever, as you do for your job, it's kind of nice to be able to know that this kind of stuff's not gonna happen, right? And Johnny Gilbert, through this whole video, doesn't do anything that would be age restricted. He doesn't like even pull out his nipples, okay? There's nothing going on like that. He doesn't say anything fucked up. He doesn't show anything fucked up. There's nothing on here that should be age restricted, okay? The only thing that could possibly be age restricted in this video, if anything at all, is this Johnny Elbows clip of him saying the thing to the person. But in context of him being called out for it, I don't think that that's like an age restriction type thing. Everybody of every age should be able to access this type of information and be able to see this kind of action and how bad this is, right? And this clip doesn't even show the kid, so I have no idea how this thing got slapped with an age restriction notice. But of course, Johnny Gilbert's not going to sit idly by and let this age restriction hold him back, okay? So he's going to send an appeal to YouTube, and of course, YouTube is going to be like, okay, yeah, maybe a robot saw that first, and we're really sorry. We're going to put some actual eyes on this, and we're totally going to determine that this video is good for everybody. But YouTube put a human set of eyes on it and determined for themselves, okay? Someone actually said, this video over here needs to be age restricted. Nobody under 18 can watch this video. This video over here is for adults only. That is insane, okay? Because Johnny Gilbert isn't the only one out here making videos on Johnny Elbows, okay? There's been at least 5 other guys on my timeline that have made videos on Johnny elbows. Oompaville and Pyrocynical come to my mind right away. So this is just commentary fodder, you know what I mean? This is just a commentary topic to make a commentary video on your commentary YouTube channel to make money off of, because other people have done the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? That is actually a very smart way to run your channel. And the reason that I know that this got age restricted is because Johnny posted it to his stories, and then he posted the appeal denial a little bit later on, but that was yesterday, and stories only last 24 hours. I didn't screenshot them for some reason. The Johnny Gilbert lore is deep, and I'm glad that he was able to dig himself out of that My Digital Escape hole that he was in, and really kind of became bigger than that ever was. So maybe that drama might have defined his early career, but he shouldn't be defined by that in today's era. This guy's working so hard, doing so many kinds of things, and the reason why he can get away with doing so many kinds of things is because it's more of like a personality driven type thing. Like if you like Johnny Gilbert, you're gonna watch anything that he puts out. Whereas me, I have to make a video about Travis Barker to scrounge 1 or 2 views out of you. It might not be the biggest deal in the world, and I don't think this age restriction is gonna make Johnny Gilbert homeless by any stretch of the imagination. It might make his grocery list a little bit smaller next week, but that might be about it. But when I saw that posted, I was like, YouTube, you can't be out here doing this. This is crazy. There needs to be a reason to slap an age restriction on it. I watched the video. I was like, no, there's nothing here, YouTube. Absolutely nothing here. So then I was like, I gotta talk about this. Okay, no more outro. Just saying bye.